The being, nature, of the good is a certain will, the being of the bad is a certain kind of will. What, then, are externals? Materials for the will, about which the will, being conversant, shall obtain its own good or evil. How shall it obtain the good? If it does not admire, overvalue, the materials, for the opinions about the materials, if the opinions are right, make the will good, but perverse and distorted opinions make the will bad. God has fixed this law, and says, if you would have anything good, receive it from yourself. You say, no, but I will have it from another. Do not so, but receive it from yourself. Therefore, when the tyrant threatens and calls me, I say, whom do you threaten? If he says, I will put you in chains, I say, you threaten my hands and my feet. If he says, I will cut off your head, I reply, you threaten my head. If he says, I will throw you into prison, I say, you threaten the whole of this poor body. If he threatens me with banishment, I say the same. Does he then not threaten you at all? If I feel that all these things do not concern me, he does not threaten me at all. But if I fear any of them, it is I whom he threatens. Whom then do I fear? The master of what? The master of things which are in my own power? There is no such master. Do I fear the master of things which are not in my power? And what are these things to me? Do you philosophers then teach us to despise kings? I hope not. Who among us teaches to claim against the power over things which they possess? Take my poor body, take my property, take my reputation, take those who are about me. If I advise any persons to claim these things, they may truly accuse me. Yes, but I intend to command your opinions also. And who has given you this power? How can you conquer the opinion of another man? By applying terror to it, he replies. I will conquer it. Do you not know that opinion conquers itself, and is not conquered by another? But nothing else can conquer will except the will itself. For this reason, too, the law of God is most powerful and most just, which is this: let the stronger always be superior to the weaker. 10 are stronger than 1. For what? For putting in chains, for killing, for dragging whither they choose, for taking away what a man has. The 10 therefore conquer the 1 in this, in which they are stronger. In what then are the 10 weaker? If the 1 possesses right opinions, and the others do not, well then, can the 10 conquer in this matter? How is it possible? If we were placed in the scales, must not the heavier draw down the scale in which it is? How strange, then, that Socrates should have been so treated by the Athenians. Slave, why do you say Socrates? Speak of the thing as it is. How strange that the poor body of Socrates should have been carried off and dragged to prison by stronger men, and that anyone should have given hemlock to the poor body of Socrates, and that it should breathe out the life. Do these things seem strange? Do they seem unjust? Do you, on account of these things, blame God? Had Socrates, then, no equivalent for these things? Where, then, for him was the nature of good? Whom shall we listen to, you or him? And what does Socrates say? Anytus and Miletus can kill me, but they cannot hurt me. And further, he says, if it so pleases God, so let it be. But show me that he who has the inferior principles overpowers him who is superior in principles. You will never show this, nor come near showing it. For it is the law of nature and of God that the superior shall always overpower the inferior. In what? In that which it is superior. One body is stronger than another. Many are stronger than one. The thief is stronger than he who is not a thief. This is the reason why I also lost my lamp, because in wakefulness the thief was superior to me. But the man bought the lamp at this price. For a lamp he became a thief, a faithless fellow, and like a wild beast. This seemed to him a good bargain. Be it so. But a man has seized me by the cloak, and is drawing me to the public place. Then others bawl out, "Philosopher, what has been the use of your opinions? See, you are dragged to prison. You are going to be beheaded. And what system of philosophy could I have made, so that, if a stronger man should have laid hold of my cloak, I should not be dragged off, that if 10 men should have laid hold of me and cast me into prison, I should not be cast in? Have I learned nothing else then? I have learned to see that everything which happens, if it be independent of my will, is nothing to me. I may ask if you have not gained by this. Why then do you seek advantage in anything else than in that which you have learned that advantage is? Will you not leave the small arguments about these matters to others, to lazy fellows, that they may sit in a corner and receive their sorry pay, or grumble that no one gives them anything? And will you not come forward and make use of what you have learned? For it is not these small arguments that are wanted now. The writings of Stoics are full of them. What, then, is the thing which is wanted? A man shall apply them, one whom by his acts shall bear testimony to his words. Assume, I entreat you, this character, that we may no longer use in the schools the examples of the ancients, but may have some example of our own. To whom, then, does the contemplation of these matters, philosophical inquiries, belong? To him who has leisure, for man is an animal that loves contemplation. But it is shameful to contemplate these things as runaway slaves do. We should sit, as in a theatre, free from distraction, and listen at one time to the tragic actor, at another time to the lute player, and not do as slaves do. As soon as the slave has taken his station, he praises the actor, and at the same time looks round. Then, if anyone calls out his master's name, the slave is immediately frightened and disturbed. It is shameful for philosophers thus to contemplate the works of nature. For what is a master? Man is not the master of man, but death is, and life and pleasure and pain. For, if he comes without these things, bring Caesar to me, and you will see how firm I am. But when he shall come with these things, thundering and lightning, and when I am afraid of them, what do I do except to recognize my master like the runaway slave? But so long as I have any respite from these terrors, as a runaway slave stands in the theatre, so do I. I bathe, I drink, I sing, but all this I do with terror and uneasiness. But if I shall release myself from my masters, that is, from those things by means of which masters are formidable, what further trouble have I? What master have I still? What then? Ought we to publish these things to all men? No, but we ought to accommodate ourselves to the ignorant, and to say, "This man recommends to me that which he thinks good for himself. I excuse him." For Socrates also excused the jailer who had the charge of him in prison, and was weeping when Socrates was going to drink the poison, and said, "How generously he laments over us!" Does he then say to the jailer that for this reason we have sent away the women? No, but he says it to his friends, who are able to hear, understand it, and he treats the jailer as a child.